This is the funding that Drug Free Indiana received from last year that we're hoping to distribute.
I can't find from
Catchers.
yesterday.
Money that was collected from last year that we're hoping to be able to distribute to those that applied for funding this year. Those are all the programs that did fill out grant applications for the 2013 year. Collections that we received last year, you can see, was the $36,918.94. We had $1,319.86 that was rolled over from last year that was not spent. Some of that came out of administrative funds that we didn't use, and a portion of it was from the Students Against Destructive Decisions. They didn't use all their money that we had set aside for them for their annual event.
Nancy, there's a board, isn't there, a task force board that...
Finance committee, there's a finance committee that's made up each year to go over the grant applications.
How is that put together? Is there commissioner appointees or?
They're just volunteers from the board.
Oh, okay.
We try to elect or try to get people that have...
But your board, how's it comprised? I mean, is there appointees like from the commissioners? Or?
No, it's just within the body of the drug-free board.
The judges have input into that?
Yes. The members of that finance committee go through each application and determine by reading what they're requesting, whether or not that we can fund them for that.
I think the question is, how do they get on that board?
How do they get on the board? Yeah, that's my question, yeah.
They're volunteers, and the people that are on the board or members of the drug-free committee volunteer to be on that finance committee.
Well, who's the person that you answer to? I mean, somebody's got to be in charge.
It's either Greg Hockemeyer or we have he's the co-convener, Greg Hockemeyer, and now we have Julie Jensen Kelly, who's also a co-convener.
How many's on there?
On the board,
Yes.
I think we have 23.
23 members on a board.
I'd like to add something. I sat on that board for a long time when I was the county coordinator, and I also sat on the finance committee for a number of years, and I can tell you there's definitely a method to this. Everybody on there is sheriff, prosecutor, community corrections, work release, city officers, county officers, but they take this very seriously, and the funding requests that come in, you'll see what's granted, because there are so many different requests that come out there. You have to really, I know that when I was on the finance committee, that I really focused on requests that were directly drug and alcohol related, requests that would take drug and alcohol out of our community. So Mike could answer any questions you guys have too about it, but it's a really neat organization.
And Jim, the original initiative came from the governor's office. It was the Governor's Commission for a Drug-Free Indiana, and they had representatives from his office come into each community and try to put these task force together. It's been, gosh, 20-some years ago when it started, but yeah, there was specific guidelines and bylaws as how that process began, but the whole initiative came from the state, and then how the funding has to be distributed is defined as far as 25%, and so yeah, it's very strict as far as the governing. I don't know, do you still have a state representative that comes, a regional coordinator?
You don't.
You don't, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I take it you're not on this board?
Not anymore, no. Thank you.
You was?
Yes.
So to get on that board, you just volunteer to be on it, is that right?
Well, don't they select, like, you have to find somebody for the city, right? You have to find a city representative, and then you have to find somebody who's representative of the courts. I mean, isn't it,
Initially, and I don't know the way it is, but we had to have someone from the hospital, we had to have someone, from the city, the county, and it defined how the board was structured, but I don't know what the bylaws are.
And we have all of that.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're trying to get at.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Who comprises the board? What are the members? What's their responsibility? Who is it made up of?
That's
Okay.
it. How did
Okay.
we get there?
Yeah.
Okay. We have the Sheriff's Department, we we have police department, probation,
So you have to find a volunteer from that.
from
that
those
area.
departments, if we don't have anybody, right. But we are already made up of all those people, and have been for years.
So this is totally grant money then,
This is
Yeah.
totally grant money,
all from the state,
all from user fees that were collected, yes.
nothing from federal government,
No.
no involvement.
I see that, SAD Experience didn't make a request, but they were given $1,000. Is that just because that's the way it is done every year?
That's the
or-
way it's done each year, in our hopes that they will come together as a group, each high school, Whitco, Busco, and Columbia City, to do one community-wide event for the students. So it's our way of encouraging them to get that done.
They also, for the board's information, the SAD members from the high schools will attend the meetings with a teacher.
But now, does each high school have a representative on your board, each one of the county
Yes.
high schools?
They do have a teacher that is
It's,
represented.
it's pretty laid out pretty well, I mean,
Can just anybody apply for a grant? I mean, there has to
No,
be.
well, anybody can apply for a grant. You do have to attend at least 6 meetings in order to be considered. And the money that you're requesting does have to be drug or alcohol related to prevent.
So there is a criteria.
Yes, there is.
can't just go ask for money.
Well, thanks.
You can, but.
He starts showing up at your meetings, I get nervous.
Yeah. No, but the question was, you answered it, that it has to be related to drug and
Drug and
alcohol.
alcohol, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions for Nancy while she's here? Thank you, Nancy. Come in.
Thank you.